Hey friends, Chip here. Everything you just saw was built with text-to-lottie. It's an open source framework to generate lottie animations with Claude Code or Codex. Special thanks to Doruk, co-founder of Diffusion, for creating this. Normally, motion design like this means you need to open After Effects, hand keyframing everything, and it's eating up a ton of your computer resources. But with text-to-lottie, you just describe what you want in simple English, and text-to-lottie generates the animation file for you. I built 5 different animations with it this week. Let's go through all of them, and I'll share with you what broke along the way. First up, a rotating clock hand of city names. I made a folder called text-to-lottie in my documents. Then I opened Terminal, went into that folder, and ran that command. npx skills at diffusionstudio/lottie. Hit Y to confirm, and it pulls the skill straight from Doruk's GitHub repo. Link is in the description. Once that's done, open Claude Code in the same folder. I pasted in the exact prompt Doruk posted on X. It was my first time using the tool, so I wanted to get a feel for it before writing my own prompts. Click allow a few times, and here's what came back. The clock working. There's one problem though. The blue dot was covering the city names. So I asked Claude to reposition it. And that worked, but the dot wasn't lining up with the text. So I sent a screenshot and asked Claude to center it against the city names. And it came back exactly right. For reference, this whole back and forth used about 34% of my session limit and 2% of my weekly limit on the Claude Pro plan. Then I hit a real wall. I wanted to use this on a plain HTML page, and nothing showed up. 3 things were going on. The lottie file in the exported zip was named animations.json, so I renamed it to match my HTML. Then the page threw a cause error, so I installed the live server extension in VS Code and click Go Live at the bottom right. And the animation was still blank. So I asked Claude Code to look into it. Turns out that Lottie Web doesn't embed fonts the way the preview player does. It expects your browser to already have the font. So adding an add font face rule fixes it. And ta-da! It renders in the browser. You can skip all of that. The finished HTML file is linked below, so you can just download it and drop it in your own file. Next up, my own logo. I crop each word, meet, buy, and chip into separate SVGs in Figma first. Version 1 reviews the words top to bottom. Each one bounces slightly past its spot, then settles. When chip lands, the arrow draws itself on, tail to head. And at the very end, the whole logo does a tiny rotation to lock in. Version 2 looks like the logo is being painted in real time. Meet, then buy, then chip, then the arrow. One continuous stroke at a constant speed. When the arrow finishes, the logo pops up slightly to land the review. Version 3, everything lands almost at once. The 3 words fit in together, just a few frames apart, while the arrow swings in from the bottom left and settles under the word chip. One fix across all 3. The logo was cropped at the start of the frame. I asked Claude to make the canvas bigger, and that's the version you see here. This is the part that impressed me the most. Getting an AI agent to draw correct vector shapes, not rough blobs, is a genuinely hard problem. Doruk solved it by having the agent read the actual SVG path data instead of guessing from screenshots. His full write-up is linked below if you want to go deeper. Next, something more practical. A reusable lower third, like the ones you usually see at the start of each section of the videos. I designed it in Figma and exported the SVG so Claude could match the layout. The word chipdong fades in first, then lame on the second line. As the letters appear, they get a horizontal motion blur, like the camera caught them moving fast. Then a black gradient fades in from the bottom. And since I wanted to reuse this for other videos, I asked Claude to make the name editable from the side panel. Here's the result. 2 small notes. I wanted the text more legible and the default speed felt a bit fast. So I asked Claude to add a shadow behind the text and let me adjust the playback speed. For the fourth one, I wanted to push it further. Full kinetic typography. If this looks familiar, it's because it's inspired by Apple's Don't Blink commercial from 9 years ago. 4 things are happening here. 1. The word this slams in huge, then shrinks and fades right as is pops in. Cheap trick, but it works. The big word getting sucked away makes the small one feel like a punch. 2. Watch apples, the word apples, slide over when big shows up, then slide again when launch joins. The whole phrase recenters every time a new word comes in, so your eyes stay in one place. 3. The counter. The digits roll up fast, like an odometer, instead of cutting straight to 107. 4. SEC stretches into seconds, pushing the rest of the line out of the way. And since I want to reuse this template too, I asked Claude to make every word editable from the side panel. 2 issues came up. First, this wasn't actually centered. Second, when I sought apples for text-to-lottie, the spacing looked off. That one is not really a bug. Lottie can't remeasure text at runtime, so a new word just sits in the old word's position. Worth knowing if your replacement words are much longer. Last one. This is more about testing what's possible. Fill and outline text, scrolling in 2 directions at once. I sketched the stages in Figma first and exported each one as a reference SVG. Solid white made by chip fades in on black. It splits into 2 outline copies, one moving up and one moving down. That same split happens again in a bit, adding 2 more rows at the edges. Then the 4 outline rows start scrolling sideways in alternating directions, while the solid text in the middle stays perfectly still. 2 bugs on this one. First, the outline text was missing the letter M. My source SVG just didn't have an M path in it. I re-exported it from Figma and pointed Claude at the new file. Second, the letter A and P had this weird overlapping glitch. I asked Claude to use my outline SVG for the outline rows and plain interfont for the solid text. Both glitches are now gone. So that's everything I've built without opening After Effects once. My honest take, the templates are not always perfectly plug and play. The word centering issue is a good example, but still, it saved me a ton of time. No masks, no keyframes, no app eating half of my computer resources just to preview one change. And if I want different words later, it's 1 prompt away. If you want to try it, the skill and every prompt I use are linked below. Let me know in the comments what you have built. I would love to see it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.